everybody. Hey, welcome back to another review. This time we are here to check out Ant-Man and the Wasp, the sequel to 2015's Ant-Man. This is Ian here along with Chris.
Hi, this movie is fun.
It is fun. It is fun. You know, that's what I expected coming into this one. You know, I definitely had fun in the first one. It was looking like from the trailers this one did not give itself completely away. It didn't. And plenty of the good lighthearted capping that this brand is known for, along with, you know, great relation to the rest of the MCU. So, for those of you tuning in, this is going to be our non-spoiler review.
Yep.
We are going to have a spoiler version up. You can also check out if you want to hear some more of the details. But if you just want that glaze over the surface of the donut, yeah, that's all I could think of at the time.
just lick the glaze off.
That's all. That's all you're gonna get here.
Like I told Ian before we started recording, I ate one of my boxes of Bunch of Crunch.
You did? Okay. How many do you have left?
I have 3.
Awesome.
Yep.
So let's see. There's 3. Were all 3 of those mush boxes?
No, there's just 2 mush boxes.
Okay, good.
I got one good one left.
Good.
So that tasted just a little bit sweeter because I won those from our bet. So.
Yes, you did.
Right. So Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first movie after Infinity War. So a little jarring.
Yeah.
A little jarring. The story of this one is about Evangeline Lilly's character, Hope, the Wasp, a.k.a. the Wasp, and Michael Douglas's character, Hank Pym, who is always awesome to see him being a huge jerk because and even as much as he's a jerk in the movies, he does not come close to the asshat he is in the comics.
No, he doesn't. But
Michael Douglas does a good job of just kind of does like, I know this character he's a pain in the butt. So he's got the right attitude going for it. They need Scott Lang, a.k.a. Ant-Man. They need his help.
Yeah.
And he is serving time for the incidents that happened with Civil War for helping Captain America, as he did in that movie. And so he is serving time. He's in house arrest and then probation, and he's not supposed to be talking to them or touching them or any kind of tech or anything. And they are wanted. But that's actually not why they need his help.
Right.
They believe that his time in the quantum realm has given him a connection that will allow them to possibly find Michelle Pfeiffer's character, the original Wasp. What's her name? Van Dyne. That's right. They think that from the brief time that he was in the quantum realm that they can use him to help find her, which they think she's still alive after being stuck in the quantum realm for 30 years.
Yep.
Shenanigans, lots of shenanigans, which is fun.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed the shenanigans in the first Ant-Man movie, you will enjoy the shenanigans in this one.
Most definitely.
Overall feelings. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, most definitely, and it's done in a fun way. You know, this is one that I just from a distance, I always thought I'd have a hard time getting into. But you know, from the fun I have with the first one, and for the way that they're able to relay this set of abilities, you know, this power set, and really effectively leveraging tech. You know, it's not a gift like what Hulk has, or you know, that's like the godhood of Thor. It's really leveraging technology to manipulate, you know, insects and the way that they're able to control ants, but more importantly, what they do with these suits and how they're able to take that tech and at will have things shrink or have things expand to crazy sizes.
And sometimes not at will.
Right. Sometimes not. You're going to have that too.
But, overall feelings on this. It sounds like you enjoyed it. It sounds like we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a good entry. I think the refreshing thing about it, this is sort of the padded landing we needed after something like Infinity War. It's largely known this runs concurrently alongside it if you're thinking about, you know, where exactly this happens. But this is not, you know, right smack dab in the center of New York. So, you know.
Yeah, and this is something we commented on a lot. We are back to present day.
Yes, we are.
as this goes about 2 years after Civil War, which is when Civil War came out a couple years ago.
Right.
And they tell you that at the beginning of the movie. We're not spoiling anything. This
Right.
says present day. So, beyond the people that we've already talked about, which I didn't name didn't say him by name, Paul Rudd. We also get awesome actors like Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah,
Uh,
Morpheus.
yeah, yep. One of my favorites, Walton Goggins from known from the most from The Shield.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great cast. They make this movie, I think, and they're all perfectly casted in here, as well as we got here Michael Piera as Louise.
Oh no, for sure.
Great cast overall. They make this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. However, sir, I will say that I did like the first one more.
Interesting. Interesting. No, fair enough. I think if I'm looking at these overall, I'm a fan of the second one. Not I have my criticisms for this, which I'm going to save some of the details for that when we actually get into the spoiler review itself.
Okay.
But if anything, I think just the keep maintaining the style of this, keeping that, expounding and building some of the ideas, from the first movie, and then really starting to play with the quantum realm and some of the implications of it. That was a lot of fun for me. I love speaking of casting, I especially enjoyed Hannah John Common. In
Yeah,
this
you
one.
were saying that you got a crush on Ghost.
Yeah, I do, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little. You gotta get her a box of Bunch of Crunch.
yeah, I really do.
Send it to her.
She's been in a lot of really nerdy things over time, anyway. So I mean, I guess jumping into Marvel and MCU should be a natural step. But yeah, anything from gaming related stuff to sci-fi. She's done a lot of really fun roles, and I thought she did a solid job here too. So
Here's the thing, and you would comment about Ghost before we started recording. I didn't want to say anything, then I wanted to say it now. This is one of my complaints about this movie, is that this movie jumps us right back into the typical MCU. The villain is a means to an end to a greater story.
yes,
And that was disappointing, because I think the character of Ghost is very cool. I think the whole concept is very cool and everything's fine. But like most of the villains in MCU movies, she is underutilized.
yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, for where you could have gone, or some of the this character could have been used, I think, as a vehicle for some other greater explanations that we didn't end up getting here. There's a bit of an opportunity missed, bit of a chance missed here. This is one of those cases where your villain takes more of a periphery threat. So I almost don't want to even say villain. I almost want to say the threat, because that is indeed what she is. But as far as just like a persistent super villain, or someone, no, and there's reasons for that. We'll get into, but.
Well, and so this kind of goes into one of my bigger complaints about this movie overall, is that I think there's too much going on in this movie, and I think it suffers from it. The first Ant-Man was definitely a much more tighter narrative, focusing a lot more on Scott Lang and what he was doing and how he was becoming a hero. And while I wasn't expecting the same thing this time around, I think there's a bit too much packed into this for what is essentially supposed to be a dual story,
Right.
Which we do get, but there's a lot more going on, and there's so much going on. Like, again, talking about Ghost, the fact that this is all happening at one time is a bit too convenient.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything more than that without I might get into some spoiler territory if I say that. But there's no reason why certain people doing certain things aren't happening at a different time. In fact, much sooner than it all just so happens to be happening now.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, a story is a story, but I think with everything they've compacted into this, it's a bit much. Especially for this being one of your lighter MCU movies, I think it got a little too clogged.
Right. Hey, fair criticism. I think especially in regard to some of the larger themes we had. Here's the thing: where this one splits micro, I think there are definitely areas it could have afforded to go a little larger scale and macro and just fleshed out all those things. One of my biggest that I'm also going to go into details about this a little later was the quantum realm itself. I thought this was really an opportunity to dig into this a lot more, to really start to shed some more light on this, what this could, mean for some of the future stuff we might see, or what were some more of the implications we might have ran over before, but we missed that larger picture because we're so tangled in all the smaller things. Smaller things are fun. It made this still fun to watch. It keeps you engaged and everything, but I really feel we missed a chance to dig into some cool stuff here. So,
what else you got? Or do you want me to talk about something else I didn't like?
I mean, you seem spring loaded.
I've got one other thing that really irks me a bit.
Cool.
And I think, look, I mean, I'm going into this movie. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I was expecting nothing less than that. And Evangeline Lilly is awesome. She's one of my favorite actresses ever since Lost.
Yep.
And she knocks it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Rudd does what Paul Rudd does, and he's as likable Scott Lang as you got from the first one, maybe even more likable.
I think so.
But I feel they took him down a notch, and I feel he isn't quite. They made him too much of a bumbling idiot, I think. And if I say anything more than that, we're definitely going to get into spoilers.
Yeah.
But I think they took a bit away from his heroic side, which does appear. He's not. He's not. Well, actually, he is kind of the comic relief.
Yeah.
But he's not. I feel like we're not quite getting the character that we should for Scott Lang in this movie, and I believe that's to suffer for other things that are happening in the movie, which then goes to my previous point. We don't need to have all this happening in this movie.
No. Fair enough. Cool, man.
What do you think?
Well, I think we're on the verge. I think we're on the verge of spoilers.
That's true.
For one thing, I want to hold some of that back. I think we've hit the broader themes.
I'm on the edge here. I know.
Yeah, I know. A little too close. At least comfort for me, at least.
Okay.
That
coming from King Spoilers is saying.
Hey, I think I've done just fine, my good man.
You're working on it. Working on it.
I don't know. You're abdicating. You're replacing me pretty well.
Okay. So just to make sure to say it, there's two end credit scenes. We're not going to talk about which ones are which. We found sometimes that they are in different orders because we see these at different locations. So we'll talk about that in spoilers. But there's two end credit scenes, one in the middle, one at the very end.
Stay, don't leave.
Yeah. I still don't get. I don't get why people leave at this point. I don't understand.
I don't either.
Let's see. I mean, the special effects are great. They're fantastic. It's everything that you saw in the first one, plus polished up. This movie, in all sense, looks, sounds, feels incredible. Yeah. And going back to what you were saying about quantum space, just looks awesome. I want to go to quantum space for vacation.
Careful what you wish for, man.
And I want to go in a special vehicle so certain things don't eat me.
If we're talking about aesthetics, one of the things I actually had fun most here was audio, sound wise. It really made me smile. And you've seen this in some of the trailers too. The use of like the electronic drum kit. Scott Lang owns this in his home, and I don't know, man. I really felt there was a good translation and good parody between that and some of what we actually hear in the soundtrack. There are actually some pretty good foot tappers. Both in the credits, some of the chase scenes, and all that. I really like that. And considering the genre we're looking at the MCU films where we're used to grand scores where they need to be grand, parts of soundtracks highlighting key moments, being a little more climactic or a little softer, more genuine when they need to be. It was cool to have just some peppier themes that just stand out. And also the other cool part is the sound palette really plays to the concept of either shrinking things or making things like huge. I felt when we're dealing with things at a gargantuan scale in this movie, the soundtrack matches that. When we have things at a very small scale, it's pretty purposeful if you listen for it.
Mm-hmm.
The way they directed that. So I think there's some great audio choices here.
Well, and I think to go with that, it's something that I've been saying for a long time. It's something I've been saying before these movies came out was that Ant-Man would make an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Because Ant-Man in the comic suffers because that doesn't really come off very well on the printed page. But they've got this whole large small Ant-Man Wasp thing. They've got it down. It's original and it's a lot of fun.
It is,
and it's you're just not seeing that anymore. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids doesn't count. That's not, for many reasons. You're just not seeing this anymore. It's very original in its concept, and they take exactly what they gave you in the first one, and they evolve that perfectly in the sequel.
Yeah. All right. Right on. Do we want to save our rating, or you want to go ahead and throw one?
No. We rated in the non-spoiler.
All right. Cool.
1 out of 10. What? What are we doing? 1 out of 10 Pez dispensers.
Pez dispenser is even better. Ants is a little too bland. Pez works.
What do you got?
I am going to give this one a solid 8.
Oh, okay. Well, here I was dragging it in the mud, and I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah.
I thought you loved it.
No, the criticism. No, the criticism's warranted. Where it is, and I think we say that because at this point, we're invested. In this line of films, these movies, we've been watching these for years now. We've seen Tony Stark become Iron Man. We've watched Thor go through his heroics. We've watched Cap go from a hero to being villainized to being a hero again. There's a real stock you learn taking these stories, and I think as a result of that, you want to give this stuff, I think, a fair shake and a fair criticism where it's pointed. They're great movies, but they're not free of that criticism, and we do it because it's something we enjoy and we want to see it at its top and what we know Marvel are capable of. So
yeah, and you missed the mark big time, people. No, I'm just kidding. Just slightly off. I love my Ant-Man.
Sure.
I enjoy. He's the fun niche of he's the fun little goofy corner of the MCU, but they were a little off on this one. Just a little, literally, just a little bit.
So. All right, great.
But great movie.
Yeah. No, this is worth seeing. Those of you who have been keeping track with MCU, do not miss this. Get on out and check it out. Even if you're just looking for, if you saw Ant-Man back in 2015, you want to see what became of that or some of the greater things this points to, go and see it. You'll have fun, and it's more than worth it.
All right, so we're gonna do some spoilers in the next video. So that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, keep it locked right here, people. Stay tuned, and hey, just check out our channel for more. But we'll catch you guys in a bit. Hop on over to that spoiler, and be sure to leave us a comment with your thoughts. About how
and subscribe.
Yeah, all that good stuff. How'd you like it? Would you not like? We want to hear about it. So cool. Yeah. Till then, catch you guys soon. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, or anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it's great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksawmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.